friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation, what they wish you knew. And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is Tarot of the Witch's Garden, and pile number two is the Wild Reflections Tarot. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today. But I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended. So we will be looking into what are their current realizations about the connection, what is the future that they see for themselves and you, and we're also going to be getting messages from your person. There's going to be a live shuffling for this. All right, details of the extended is going to be there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading, so just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile 1, for those of you who chose Tarot of the Witch's Garden, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies, so close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Alrighty, pile 1, specifically for no contact and or separation situation, what do they wish you knew? Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Nine of Swords, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, Emperor, Seven of Cups. I also have your Oracle card, so we're going to get into that as well. I'm struggling to trust. Crown Chakra Consciousness. Imagine. Perspective. Juno and Balance. What your person wishes you knew. They're doing their best, pile 1. They're doing their best. But I think that they do struggle a lot with the no contact that is there between the two of you. One part of them wants to trust that maybe both of you will come back together at some point in the future. Another part of them wonders if maybe they should move on or they should let go of this connection, but something within them is not allowing them to let go of this connection. What they wish you knew is that they're doing their best to stay positive at this point in time, but it's been difficult for them as well. It's not just been difficult on your end. Whatever's gone down between the two of you, I think that there is a deep desire within your person to maybe start fresh, maybe to come forward, talk things out with you, maybe discuss what could go right between the two of you. But at the same time, your person might be looking back and wondering, okay, well, that is my desire, but is that what is actually going to happen, or is that what's meant to be? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm meant to move on. Maybe I'm meant to go my own path. So there is a bit of a struggle. On one side, they do have feelings for you, pile 1. On the other hand, they're asking themselves, well, what is the logical decision to do over here? Should I go with my feelings or should I go with my mind? So there is a bit of a head versus their heart that's playing out within them right now. Their mind kind of wants to take the no contact as the ending, whereas their heart or even their soul, honestly, coming through, wants to reconcile, wants to come back, feels like there's something more to the story between the two of you. So whose perspective is your person going to listen to? They're really, really struggling at this point. I think that both their heart and their mind are powerful at this point in time, so it's equal forces pulling your person apart. They do have feelings for you. They do care about you. This connection does mean something to them, Pal 1. If you thought that you were the only person struggling, the answer is no. Your person has also been struggling about this connection. There's something about them wanting some kind of a fresh start between the two of you that's coming through, but even that, they're struggling to trust that they have this feeling within them that something more is meant to play out between the two of you. Because that is their crown chakra. It's kind of like messages coming through, perhaps from their higher self, perhaps even from their spirit guides. Your person might be struggling to trust those messages at this point in time. But if they were to tap into their intuition, I think that the answer would be clear, but right now, even their mind also might be louder. So a little bit of a clash going on over there. With Imagine coming up, I would not be surprised if your person has visions of the two of you being together, or even just, I'm actually seeing random situations, scenarios playing out in your person's mind. Like they'll be doing something busy and then suddenly a vision would flash. And at this point in time, your person might be wondering where those visions are coming from, because it doesn't look like both of you have done what is playing out in the visions. That's one message that's coming through. So they might be wondering, where is this coming from? Why am I imagining things like this? I mean, that's just absurd. We're in no contact right now. Why am I imagining maybe taking a stroll in the park with my person? Or it's never played out before between the two of us. Why am I having thoughts of this? And so that also is something that your person might be struggling to trust at this point in time. What they wish you knew, they're in two minds. That's where they are at, Pal 1. They're in two minds right now. One hopes for a future between the two of you. The other wonders if that hope is hopeless. That's the message that's coming through. One part of them actually wants to move on, but that decision does not feel aligned to them. Like every time they decide, okay, I'm moving on, and then they maybe go through their process of what they usually do when they're moving on from someone, something just doesn't sit right with them, something just doesn't feel right, or these visions keep coming in, or even messages from their higher self keep coming in. And it's kind of like, even though your person may be trying to move on, there's always something that's reminding them of you. There's always something that's pulling them back to those feelings that they have for you. But the reason, and that's between you and me, Pal 1, is because they're meant to understand what they're going through, and they're meant to understand what they're feeling. They're meant to follow what they're feeling rather than what their mind is telling them to do. So that is the switch that's happening at this point in time. Your person might not recognize it. They might be a bit more in their mind at this point, where they're trying to move on, but then they find themselves being pulled back. At some point, the resistance will break, and that's when they will fully sit with their feelings, and then they will align with what their feelings are telling them to do. But there's a little bit of a journey to that. That resistance of following their mind at this point for this particular situation, that resistance needs to break. All right, and there might be something about them being honest with themselves about what their feelings truly are, because I do see that they are honest about their feelings, but maybe they need to start being honest with themselves about this connection and what this connection really means to them, the depth of the connection, because we do have the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups coming through for you. So it does look like there needs to be some balance within your person. Like I think they're leaning too much in their mind. Maybe the more they tap into their heart, they're feeling pain, so they don't want to sit with that energy at this point. So they're leaning a bit to their mind. But I do see that that resistance will break. I see a period of pause between the two of you. Like, I know that this is no contact or separation, but even so, I am seeing a bit of a pause just because your person is going to, this is in the near future, they're going to learn how to sit with their feelings. So it might be a little bit different from what they've experienced before. Like, maybe your person has never taken the time to actually sit with what they're feeling within them. Maybe they've always been in their mind constantly looking at, okay, well, how to get out of this pain, what to do next, how to take a logical approach so that I'm not in my feels, so that I don't have to deal with the pain of what I'm going through. But somehow it does look like your person, either the resistance will break or they will be forced to sit with their feelings. One of the two is going to happen. And that is when your person will be able to truly balance that energy within them, what their mind is trying to tell them. Maybe their mind is stepping in to protect them, yes, but at the same time, their heart is also telling them something. They are also receiving messages from their higher self as well. Where is the balance? What do they feel called to align with? That's what, they truly need to find that path for themselves. But right now, too much in their mind, too much in their headspace. They need to kind of balance that out. So it looks like they will be forced to sit with what they're feeling. Forced to face what they're feeling is also the energy that's coming through. And that will help them actually understand what they truly want to align with, or even what are the messages trying to tell them as well. I'm hearing zone out. There was this article, I guess it was something on social media that I'd read where I don't know who it was, some psychologist or something like that. This was a couple of months ago. They wrote that, we are not meant, like, this is not related to your reading per se, but I was called to remember that is, we're not meant to have this overload of information. The era that we are in, how much of information that comes through social media, how much of people's perception that we are actually in tune with at this point in time. We're not meant to have that kind of a sensory overload. Like, our bodies were not built for that. And right now what's going on is that it is an excess. So zoning out can actually help you clear out your mind, just sitting with your thoughts, just sitting in silence, not having any of your gadgets around. And just, even if you're just staring out of your window, it's supposed to help you reset. It's supposed to help you calm your nervous system down. And it's actually supposed to give you mental clarity. So that was the article that I read. Like I said, it was not particularly an article. It was kind of posted as an Instagram post, but I think it was something that this person had said. I don't remember who it was. I'm being called to remember that particular article, that your person will actually, get to a point where that mental clarity comes through because they don't do anything. They just sit still. They just are by themselves. And they're not forcing themselves to be a certain way or think a certain way. So either they will be led to that point because of the resistance that they're having. I think that resistance will break, or your person will kind of feel the mental overload and they will have no choice but to just sit with everything that they are feeling. That is when your person will start to clear out their mind. They'll gain that mental clarity. And that's also when they will start to become more in tune with either, first off, the messages that are coming through to them from their higher self, but also more importantly, what they truly want for themselves, what their heart wants, and what their heart is calling them to do. All right, let's take a look at the extended and let's see what is going to be coming through in the extended. So in the extended, we are going to be looking into their current realizations about your connection. So we're going to look deeper into that. I'll pull more cards for you. And then we're looking into what is the future that they see for themselves and you. So this one, I will tap into either their heart space or I will tap into their higher self, all right? And then we're going to get messages from your person. There is going to be live shuffling for this. Details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. Pile 1, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brings you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. Pile 1, take care. Trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Paltu. For those of you who chose the Wild Reflections Tarot, this is going to be your reading, all right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Reading Paltu specifically for no contact and no separation situation. What your person wishes you. Okay. Page of Swords, the Magician, Two of Swords, King of Swords. Communication is very strong in your reading today. The Devil, Eight of Swords, Temperance. Okay, and then we have your silence is painful. I told you, communication is very strong in your reading today. Solar Plexus, Greatness. Okay. Treasure Island, Flexibility, and we have Lakshmi. Oh, that's nice. I turn the tides of my fate with effort and grace. I think you have been the person to pull away from your person. I don't think that either you're not responding to their messages or you've put an end to the energy between the two of you or the conversations between the two of you. It's come from you, Palteo. That energy is very, very strong at this point. Like the no contact could have started out because of them, but it's continuing because of you, or the no contact could have started out because of you. There's something about either you're not responding the way that you usually do, or you're just silent, you're not saying anything, or you've set boundaries. It's one of these three. If it's not one of these three, then I don't think that this is your pile because the silence is coming from your end. Your person has recognized what they lost in this connection. With Treasure Island coming through as well as Lakshmi coming through, it kind of feels like your person didn't realize what they had until they lost it, until your silence stepped in between the two of you. Your person did not expect you to behave this way. They definitely didn't think that you would come to a point where you resort to silence. And I'm hearing your silence actually is your loudest cry, but your person may be perceiving it as you don't care or you no longer want to be with them. But actually, to me as a reader, it is clear that your silence is, it shows how much you care about this connection. It shows how much this person meant to you. And maybe you really took on a lot of pain in this connection. Maybe when this connection was going on, your person took you for granted. They didn't really show up in this connection. Maybe you were doing all the hard work on your end. And I feel like bit by bit, I am seeing, I don't know how to explain it to you, but this is the vision that's coming through. I'm seeing, you know how like when you speak this like voice, what is that, waves, I guess you could call it. Yeah. So what I'm seeing is waves based on someone talking, and then it's kind of like a lot, and then it decreases over time, and then there is silence. That's what I'm seeing right now. And I feel like that is how things have unfolded on your end in particular. It's kind of like you were doing all the talking, you were investing so much of your energy, and then over time, you started to realize that it was just not being reciprocated, and then you started lowering your efforts until a point where you are no longer putting any effort. And that by itself, just me even doing something like this, I felt a sudden surge of pain in my chest. So it must have been excruciatingly painful for you to slowly let go of this connection. It's kind of like, I think you gave your person chances after chances to step up, but it just was not landing for them, or they just didn't realize what this connection meant to them and how they wanted to step up. I don't think that understanding of the fact that they needed to step up. I think that this person even must have taken you for granted. Like, okay, my person is always going to be flexible. They're always going to adhere to what I want, about how I want this connection. And now I think you've just given up, pal 2, or you will only accept this connection if your person steps up. It's that energy that you are in. Your person did not expect this from you at all. Like I'm feeling shock, and more like they're not able to process, but it's this shock that has actually pushed them to realize what they put you through. And more importantly, it's kind of pushed this clarity within them that they want this connection. Now, for some of you, because we have the Devil and the 8 of Swords energy, I feel like giving you a tiny warning. Please trust your intuition on this. For some of you, the lack of this connection might have pushed your person to recognize that they want this connection, but only because there is a lack of it. And once your connection comes back in, it's possible that they might revert back to how things were in the past. So maybe you responding to them, you giving your energy to them makes them feel validated, and then they go back to the energy that they are in. That is a warning for some of you, so please trust your intuition on that. But for others of you, I do feel, because we have the Temperance, but we have 2 different energies coming through. That's why I felt called to tell you that for some of you, it is just the validation that your person is looking for, not the connection. But for others of you, I am getting that this deep realization is actually pushing them to step up as well. So there are 2 different narratives that are forming. Please trust your intuition on where your person is at and the energy that they are in. Okay, that is also important. Another message that's coming through is your person, like, they recognize how much of this connection was built solely on your efforts. That clarity has come through. And maybe on your end, you recognized it, yes, but you also thought, okay, well, if I'm the only one putting in the effort, then this isn't a connection that makes sense to me. And so your person's also recognizing your point of view about why you pulled away. Even though your silence is painful, even though it shocked them to the core, they understand where you are coming from. And that realization is actually pushing them from within to recognize that they should have done better by you. It's not that they didn't want this connection, your person did, but it was also that they took it for granted, or they thought that you would just do all the hard work. They thought it was something that you naturally did and they didn't have to do anything. But they understand that that thought process was very, very naive at that point in time, and they should have stepped up. Even though you were doing most of the work, they should have stepped up and they should have created that balance within you. So there is that understanding that is coming through. At the same time, they wish you knew that they are actually struggling without you at this point, Paltio. It's kind of like lost treasure is also what I'm hearing. And Lakshmi also she's the goddess of wealth, right? And I turn the tides of my fate with effort and grace. So Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, and then we also have treasure coming through. So the person didn't know what they had until they lost it, and you are the treasure. Your connection was very, very valuable to your person, but it was only through the loss of it that your person recognized how much they should have stepped up on their own. They are wishing for things to be different between the 2 of you. And it looks like your person wants to do something about it. But yeah, I do see that there are in 2 minds whether you're going to be open to it. Maybe your energy might be a bit hostile, or maybe you must have blocked this person. For some of you, I am seeing that maybe the silence between the 2 of you, your person is perceiving that as you not wanting to talk to them forever. So there is that 2-mind energy coming through where they're not sure what your energy is. They're not sure if you are open to them. But overall, what they wish you knew is honestly, they're sorry. They're sorry that they put you through what they put you through. And they now recognize where they should have stepped up. I want to get one message or one advice for you, pile 2. Let's see what wants to come through. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Okay. So there is action-oriented energy. We'll look deeper into it in the extended, of course, you know, the future that they see between the two of you. I think that's coming through in the extended. But for now, what I will say is that your person is going to spend some time thinking about this connection. It is in this process of thinking about this connection, thinking about how much of effort that you put in, that is slowly going to grow the love that they do have for you, or grow in recognition of the love that they do have for you. So to give your person the space and the time, the energy that you are in, focusing on yourself, that is important. Yes, that is actually what is triggering this transformation within your person. But I am seeing, this is, I think, just advice for you. If there is any resentment on your end, if there is any anger on your end, you might want to take some time to work it through. Find that closure yourself. Pile 2. Because if you depend on your person to give you that closure, first off, that's unhealthy. You're putting unnecessary pressure on them. Second, your person is stepping up in their own way, all right? That may or may not align with what you are expecting. So you might want to find that closure within yourself first, and then be open to receiving how your person gives you their love or their apology. There is something definitely coming your way with respect to this person. There's some kind of offer coming in. It seems like it's coming from a stable place. The reason why I said you might have to find that closure on your end is because it's the Ace of Pentacles. It might be very small. It might not be as grand a gesture, or it might not be too big, but it is something. It is a solid start for the two of you. So if you are in the energy of anger and resentment towards your person, and I'm not saying that you don't have the right to be, absolutely not. You are absolutely, however you feel is how you feel, right? You don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't have to justify it to anyone. However, if that energy is becoming heavy for you, if it is something that is weighing you down, that would be misalignment. Up until a certain point, that energy is something you can hold on, and you must hold on in order to work through it. Beyond a certain point, it becomes too heavy. It becomes unnecessary for you to keep tackling it, or for you to keep being in that energy. So that's the phase that I'm talking about. So if you're feeling that about this connection, then maybe it might be time to work through it. Maybe it might be a message that's coming through is, it might be the liberation that you need in order to clear out the energetic channel between the two of you, so that your person feels safe to come in. All right, so that might be a little bit of a message for you, but overall I do see that your person is coming in of sorts, but we'll look deeper into that. But it looks something small. I don't know what the future they're envisioning is. We'll look into that in the extended, but overall, there is some kind of offer coming in from your person. It's small, but it's something. That's also what I'm hearing, right? Let's actually look into the extended and see what we are getting into in the extended. Okay, in the extended, we are looking into what are their current realizations about the connection. The second question that we're looking into is, what is the future that they see for themselves and you? There is some kind of offer coming in. That's more of a message to you, but we'll take a look at what future are they specifically looking at when they see the two of you. And then we're also going to be getting some messages from your person. There is going to be live shuffling for this. Details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. Pile 2, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. Pile 2, take care. Trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.